Hello, everyone. I think you could hear me now, unlike last episode when I when I opened up. How's it going, everyone? Uh, just wanted to pop in, talk a little about Pigman, make a pitch. I couldn't show up for Shanth's closeout, the 60-day closeout for Spring Ball. Unfortunately, last night he gave me a link in an email because the what do you call it? The messages were down on. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go off camera here for 1 minute. Close this up. And if you want to do a little Q&A, you want to ask about Pigman, those who backed it, those who were interested. Hello, Cigar Gangster. How's it going, man? Just popping in to talk a little about Pigman, SuperJihad, the war between them, the comic book. I don't want to give away too much, but I do want to answer some questions you guys might have about what the situation is between them, and so on. It's a story within a story. Again, it's twin brothers. It's like as if I split myself in two. Hey, at comic books and Coots, my man, how's it going? It's as if I split myself in two. That's the story setup post 9/11, and you know, what if besides me being the recovered Muslim that I am, what would it look like if I went full blown jihad post 9/11? If I took Islam more seriously, if I became, a hero according to Islam, what would that look like? So that's what I did in the story. I split myself in two with the brothers and try to be as honest as I could about what that would look like. And then, through that, one of the twins creates a Pigman comic book. So it's a comic book. Originally, it was just a Pigman comic book. It was a story about this ex-Muslim who, puts on pigskin leather post 9/11 after he sees Bush sell us out by saying Islam is peace, all that bullshit. He realizes that the most powerful man in the world just crippled our war efforts. So he's going to have to take the war into his own hands. And while I love the aspect of Pigman, I thought as a writer, that's not enough meat for me, not enough oomph. So I said, okay, I'm gonna bring something a little more in there, a little richer, deeper, wider, and the story between the brothers, and that story is echo between Pigman and SuperJihad, Frank and Muhammad, Dr. Muhammad, who were both ex-Muslims, writing against Islam and Jihad for years together as partners, and his life went sour. Muhammad, his life went sour, and then 9/11 hits. They're on the rooftop in New York City arguing, and then they hear this roar of a plane flying over their heads. They look up, they follow it, and they see it hit the towers. And by the time the second tower gets hit, they're on the ground, and Muhammad goes to the ground and says Allahu Akbar. He's back in the fold. And Frank looks at him in absolute shock. So that's a setup. Anyone has any questions, let me know. I just want to talk about it, basically. Talk about Pigman and my comic. Did anything pop up here, guys? Okay, it did. Let me see what I can do here. I just want to show a little of my Hail, Mikey. Bitch, smack the like, y'all. Please do. If you could subscribe. Hello out there. How are you? If you can please subscribe to my channel, if you can like it, if you can spread the word, if you can share it on X and so on. Hey, Jimmy. How's it going? Just wanted to talk a little about Pigman. I want to promote it. This is a promotional video, live stream. Ask questions about it if you guys want. Some of you have read it. If you have any questions that don't give away too much of the story, I just want to go through a little stuff here also. This is what I was talking about. SuperJihad and PIGMAN. And I drew it this way. The reason I drew it that way was it's as if a bomb is dropping over New York City. That's why I drew the plane that way. And I drew it black, like a bat out of hell. A terrible thing. A once peaceful thing that was used for flight, weaponized by Muslims, which they do with everything. They weaponize language, they weaponize everything, they weaponize X. The propaganda that's spread on X is preposterous, and Grok participates with that propaganda. Grok regurgitates all their bullshit. It's a constant, information war, constant. And I'm up to it. I mean, I've been, fighting this culturally for over 2 decades by now. It's true. You guys, you probably have seen it, but let me bring it up anyway. I just want to show a little of this, guys. I don't want to show too much, so I'm going to get off there, but I do want to show you something quick. If I can do it here. Give me 1 second. If you missed it, guys, if you missed it, I have like one of the ultimate endorsements here. Ultimate endorsement, if you really think about it. That piece of shit, Yellow Flash, called PIGMAN, that PIGMAN piece of shit. So as I put it, I said, now that's an endorsement. Headless Bourgeois, how's it going? Now that's an endorsement, for a piece of shit like that to call PIGMAN a piece of shit. That's pretty damn good, guys. I mean, that's like a paid advertisement, like he's paying me almost. So if you agree that, Yellow Flash is a piece of shit who basically, used up Comicsgate until he felt he had enough and he had enough backup with that other crowd. I just think it's funny. He's such a piece of shit. Calling PIGMAN a piece of shit. My boy PIGMAN. So let me read some. 1 second. Mikey writes, I looked up the Infidel on eBay and the highest bid was $289. I thought about getting it to compare it to PIGMAN 1, but always lose bids. Well, that's good. Thanks for trying, first of all, Mikey. And I remember seeing Propaganda, which is the first print publication of PIGMAN ever. Our pal, awesome work. When do you think this evil cult will become irrelevant? When we decide to, our pal. When we decide to. We haven't decided to. We still pretend that it's a peaceful religion, small minority of extremists, all that bullshit. While over 300,000 human beings have been murdered in the name of Islam since 9/11. Every week, hundreds die. Check out therevolutionofpeace.com. So when we decide to make them irrelevant, they will become irrelevant. And it's all up to us. It's not up to them. They think it's up to them. It's not. But back to Mikey, quick. Propaganda was going for like $500, $600 on Amazon and also eBay a while back. I haven't seen it there for a while though. It's a first print appearance of a PIGMAN, and Table Phone also can get up there. But I just want to, if you could link me to that, Mikey, because I haven't seen the Infidel featuring PIGMAN go up that high. But that's good. That's good to see because there's interest. There's interest in the lone comic book that takes on Islam and jihad, and that's not an exaggeration, guys. I don't like to talk up myself unnecessarily, but I will mention certain things like I know that the Jew haters on X like to talk themselves up as being brave and bold, and you can't talk about Jews. Well, that's all they talk about. That's all they talk about. What they're doing, in short, is drawing Muhammad, drawing Moses while I'm drawing Muhammad. That's what they're doing. They're drawing Moses with no cost for that, no risk. They have grown their audiences. These scumbags like Nick Fuentes and Dave Smith and Tucker Carlson and all these rats. I just want to see Mikey, and then I'll get back to some of the commentary. Guys, ask any questions. I can't answer all of them because I don't want to give away the book too much. At the same time, I do want to answer some questions that you guys might have. So let me know. I would appreciate it. 1 second, guys. I can't seem to find it for some reason. But I want to look into that, Mikey. If you could send me again another link, Mikey, I would appreciate it. There was a comic book, the Infidel, I think, Image comic book about, of course, a Muslim woman, a victim of some kind, and so on. But yeah, let me read some more comments here, guys. And again, this is a promotional thing. You guys might not be interested in that. I understand. I just have to promote my comic book. I'm going to close it out within the next 2 months. So I'm down to the wire now. And I'm also making a move. So it's going to be a lot of things going on in my life within the next 2 months. So let me read. But that's good to hear, Mikey. If you could send me a link on X, because I just try to look for it right now, but I don't want to spend too much time here, guys, while I'm on with you. Our pulse is awesome work. When do you think? Okay, again, when the civilized world decides that they're done, that there is Islam exhaustion, jihad exhaustion, when we're fed up, that's when jihad ends. Not before then. It's an emotional thing for a lot of people. They have to be angry. They can't think rationally and say, yeah, this is a horrific thing. It's a major threat, especially in a nuclear age. We can't allow this enemy to get nukes and use them to set them off somewhere. Look what they do with planes. What do you think they'll do with nukes? So that's the problem. But yeah, I think I do sense this pushback, though, a little more aggression on the part of the West, a little more of us being fed up with these fuckers. There is that. There is that. Jimmy Lumberjack says, that's creative as all heck, boss. You using his own words has to be driving him nuts. Absolutely. He blocked me a while back. I mean, but he was on his, I guess, what was it? He was commiserating after he realized that his comic bombed. And instead of trying to promote it, he decided to tear down whoever was out there. It was, of course, Ethan. And Ethan, he EFAP'd it. He went after me. He went after John Malin. He went after, Vasilis. He called us all shit. The art is shit in PIGMAN and so on. It's a stupid thing. And it's hilarious to me. A piece of shit YouTuber who's drunk and stupid and fat, talking shit about cartoonists who've done this for decades now. It's embarrassing. It's a little infuriating at the same time. A part of me is like, I don't know. It's like it's obscene to see these pieces of shit who don't give a damn for art, who don't give a damn for what it takes to put yourself out there on the line. While I'm fighting jihadists in my comic, he's fighting Nazis. It's like, okay, that's old, tired, done. Who doesn't fight Nazis? That's like a leftist, thing these days. Fight Nazis, punching Nazis, right? That's what this alleged conservative right-wing guy did. It's a little trope. It's a leftist trope by now. And not that I'm against anyone doing that. I mean, I like having, drawings of Captain America punching Hitler, like that classic cover. And I made one with Pigman punching Muhammad in the similar vein on my store. Let me show you. If you haven't seen it, let me show you. It's at my store, boschfawson.com. And also, guys, if you're interested, I am still selling recreations. I have 3 left out of 20. Very limited recreations of my winning Muhammad cartoon that I won in 2015, May 3rd. And right after I was announced, about 20 minutes after I made my acceptance speech, 2 jihadists came there to mass murder us, and they died for it. So this is the my winning cartoon. It's very simple, direct, and it tells the whole point to me. We have to defy these monsters. It's a simple act of defiance from an artist to me. You can't draw me, that's why I draw you. So I have 3 left, guys. It's $500 for some of you. I know, believe me, I hear it's too much. It's like, okay, then don't get it. You don't have to get it. But my life was at stake here, and I figure $500. I think that's a deal. You get an original drawing of my winning cartoon by me, slightly different than the original, but enough to say, okay, it's the basic thing. And I also write recreation. It'll be 3 of 20 to. That's it. It'll go down to the final one. 17 of 20, and then I sign it here also, and I redraw it in the same exact 14 by 17 paper. It's all in pencil and ink, and it's always inked by a brush the way I inked the original one. Everything here is a brush except for some of the straight lines here, the sword, but everything else is inked by a brush. And again, it'll be slightly different. I can't, repeat exactly, and I don't want to either. But it's the whole point of it is there for all to see. So you can back, Pigman and follow my comic if you haven't. And also, I'm getting finally. I've been sitting on these files for about a year. I finally got this. You can see it here, guys. The Muhammad flipbook. I got the proof, and I'm getting the whole shebang. The whole copies soon. I will ship them out as soon as I get them. I kept getting extra orders, so I'm like, awesome. So yeah, guys, if you want to order this as well, Muhammad on the Run, a flip book by me, my first one, probably won't be my last. And then I just want to show you the trading card. Yeah, this is a trading card that I mentioned before. An homage to Captain America punching Hitler. And this is Muhammad being punched by the pigskin leather gloves of Pigman. It's a trading card. You guys can order it at my store as well. And check it out. I would appreciate it. I'm going to go back to the comments here. Thanks for being here, guys. As always, I do appreciate it. I always appreciate your presence here and your support, and also your retweets on or reposts on X. I always appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's I don't know what's going on with X, but it's going pretty wild. I just got like 3,000 new followers in a very short period. That's good. I always want more followers. Okay, so hello, John. Okay. Let me know, Mikey, again about the eBay, and if you have a listing, I'd like to see that. I want to see how it's going. I'm very interested in that. See how it plays in the secondary market. But this will be the best version of it. Period. This Pigman #1 will be the best version of that, and it'll be 1 and 2 combined in one. Extra pages, splash pages, double page spreads, new covers, a tighter, a better version. Redrawn faces here and there, bodies, sometimes words, even colors maybe. I'm gonna mess with that because it's so many different things I can do, but it's exciting. So yeah, let me know. That's right. Egon the Dragon Cock. Yellow Flash is definitely an expert on piece of shit. He absolutely is. He is a piece of shit. I remember, it's so funny. I remember hearing about him, and I checked in, I think a few times. It was really bad. I couldn't stand his cadence. Couldn't stand his. He slurred his words. He was drinking on the air, clearly. Drunk. Didn't know shit about comics, really, no matter what he claimed. I'm not sure if he's that big a fan. I'm not sure if any of these guys are, to be honest. Um, but it's really, I gotta say, it's a good thing that he bombed out because every last rat in that crew would have gotten into quote unquote indie comics through Rip Ascent. And now 100%, some guys who would have done that will never do that now. He's been embarrassed, and that's good. We don't need any more pieces of shit who don't love the medium to come in here into our space and trash us and then try to compete with us, and they can't. And even his own audience, close to 500,000 subs, are like, nah, I don't need your comic, thanks. I love that. I mean, it's just very, very promising also for our time. And also, I think it's just another factor here, guys. If you notice something in the last year, authenticity is taken over in a lot of ways with a lot of people, with what's happening in politics, with what's happening in media, in entertainment. People do not want the bullshit anymore. Also with this the fatigue, right? And people are sometimes saying it's the fatigue is about ends, not about just blacks in general. And that's it. That's interesting to me because they were talking about it with Jason Whitlock and a whole crew of black thinkers, pundits, and they were using the word ninja. You can use the word nigger. You actually can, but they choose to do that. And when you're talking about the word, again, I don't like to blink on the word if I'm talking about it. The point is that it's more a case, at least I think, of the terrible elements that are out there for us to see. It's not all black people. That's a fact. We know good black people in our lives. We know that. We know pundits who are out there who are good. We know these writers and thinkers. But it's just that segment that really brings it all down, and that is amplified by the left. The left loves amplifying that. They got pieces of shit like Stephen A. Smith, embarrassing everyone around him. By the way, he speaks the phoniness of it all, and people are sick of it. Bringing race into every little thing. Caitlin Clark plays a game, gives a foul to Angel Reese, and it's now being investigated because allegedly they heard some racial slurs in the audience. That's a lie. How do you know that's a lie? In an age where everyone has a movie camera on their phone, there's no proof. January 6th, yeah, they kept calling me the N-word. Really? Where's the proof? Nowhere. You know they'll be out there if it was. So every time someone claims that, they're lying. They're lying. They're lying. Anyway, we're sick of it, and we're sick of the inauthenticity. We're sick of the lies. We're sick of Islam being shoved down our throats as a religion of peace. We're sick of a lot of things, and we want real. We want truth. We want things that are worth our time. People that are worth our time. I know I want that. So I think it's a fatigue for a lot of things, a lot of bullshit that we have suffered under for too long, really, as Americans, as people living in the West. These enemies within, the communists, the Muslims, they want to tear us apart. They want to destroy the country. They want to kill innocent people. At the Jewish Museum the other day, it was a Christian, actually. It was a Christian. He wasn't He wasn't a Jew. He was a Christian. I think his father or his mother were Jewish, but he identified as a Christian, and they were celebrating it. Muslims were celebrating this. The leftists were celebrating it. This is not an exaggeration. They were celebrating it on X. This young couple about to be married soon, shot. They said something 20 times shot in their backs, crawling away from it, trying to stand, trying to do something about it. All their hopes and dreams snuffed out by a piece of shit communist who screamed out, "Free Palestine," which means dead Jews, kill Jews. It doesn't mean anything else. Those who would behead people aren't for freedom. They don't want freedom. They want death. But it doesn't sound good. Beheadings. No, they say free because they know the suckers in the West, they love freedom. We'll say freedom. They love peace. We'll say Islam means peace, and so on. Anyway, I can go on, but it's infuriating, the reaction. And I got to say, I push back in a way where I'm challenging the limits of what can be accepted on X. I am. I definitely am. I just posted, today I said, you can judge religion by 1 billion bad apples. And that's, people can take that as they want, but I think it's worth writing that, worth putting it in their faces. We are at a war here. We're not playing games. These people want to cut our throats. We can't fuck around. We can't pretend that's not what they're doing. So, I do it with my words and my art. I don't make threats. I never have, never will. That's not my thing. But I will say that I want this enemy to be obliterated. I will say that. Absolutely. Egon, how's it going? Egon the Dragoncock. I'm glad I got the 3 issues of The Infidel. It was riveting storytelling. Recent events show that this story is needed more than ever. Malin was right about this book. Egon, that really means a lot. I don't like to overstate it, but it means a lot because post 9/11, there was nothing else I was going to do. I actually thought about putting aside Table for One, my first graphic novel. I was in the middle of it when 9/11 hit, and I wasn't just to say, okay, you know what? No, I'm going to go jump over. I said, you know what? Finish it, but add a little element of 9/11 in there. Have a conversation in a restaurant, double page spread of all the customers talking about what happened. Have that, set it up, and then go, while you're learning Islam, while you're studying the Quran, while you're studying dozens and dozens and dozens of books in the Hadith and all these things, books on jihad, everything. I wanted to know the enemy, as deeply as I could in order to take him on, in order to defeat him in my world, in the fictional world that I created. So thank you very much, man. It means a lot because it's, I love this medium. Absolutely love it. Have dedicated my life to making comics and cartoons and political cartoons and writing and essays, but comic books is the main thing that I do. And even the books that I've done, they're filled with cartoons and word balloons like Islam bitches. I have all these cartoons of these characters of these Islam bitches across centuries with these word balloons. So it looks like a comic book. It's not necessarily a comic book, but it has the similar trappings. But that does mean a lot, Egon. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you very much, man. And when John said that, I got to say I was moved because it's like you want your work to have impact. And John hasn't read it, but he saw that trailer for the first time. And while the Kings were doing the usual thing and making some roasting and cracks, like Billy Tucci said, "Bosh, where do you live?" And I was like, as a little joke. And then John basically cut through it all. Says, guys, Pigman is the most important comic book in Comicscape. I think he even said it on his own channel, maybe in all comics. They said, well, Ethan said, why, John? He goes, because he's putting his life at risk. That's why. And I appreciate it. I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky that those scumbags didn't kill us that day. And I just posted a picture actually from a few years ago. It was the same date of the day I won the Muhammad Cartoon Contest, and the scumbags got their heads blown off, May 3rd, a few years ago. This piece of shit who stole a car, a high-speed chase with the cops, crashed my car at top speed, totaled my car, and I was a little bruised up. The airbag went off, and I had the airbag burned. My back wasn't right for a while. I actually was walking around with a cane for a while. But anyway, I'm here, I'm alive, and it's good to be alive. And I just remember that accident, and I gotta say, I have a little slight, I wouldn't say PTSD, but god damn it, I get this idea sometimes that out of nowhere something's gonna happen. And that's not just the car accident. I'm talking about sometimes I walk around and my head's on a swivel, and I cannot not be extra cautious about who's around me and what's happening. That's the life I've chosen. It's not ideal. It's not great. I wouldn't, recommend it personally, but this is a choices we make, and that's the price we pay for it. I don't go into this blindly. In other words, so thanks, Gon Egon. Much appreciated, man. It means a lot. I've gotten that from a lot of people that the story really hits them. Um, Calling it riveting. It's fantastic, man. Fantastic. It's a great compliment, and I take it. Thank you very much, man. Jimmy the Lumberjack says Pigman's fighting style is a brawler type or more of a wrestler. That's funny. He looks like a wrestler, but he's a brawler. He doesn't. He tries to at times just kill these guys with one punch. That's it. Break them and move on. He wants to get back home to his family. That's all he wants. He wants to end jihad. It's nothing less than that, guys. It's really not. I know it sounds impossible, unbelievable. How about our soldiers? Believe me, I've gotten that. How about you're insulting our soldiers? I said, no. Our soldiers, if they were allowed to, would have wiped out this enemy. Pigman would have been irrelevant at that point. Just that they weren't allowed to do that. And when they weren't allowed to do that, I was like, okay, in fiction, I'm going to do it. I killed, Osama bin Laden in months and months before he was actually killed. I killed him in my book before he was killed in real life. I'm not saying I took that away, from anyone, but the point is that I wanted to get Pigman's pigskin leather gloves on Osama bin Laden and snuff the life out of him. And it was important to do that, show it on the page, and then of course make a far worse threat, so much so that even Osama bin Laden tells him, he warns him about SuperJihad and how he's gonna make him submit. I like that. I like that. There's a guy in Osama bin Laden's mind that's bigger than he is, a bigger threat, because he hears him about SuperJihad for like 2 issues, and then he discovers that it's his old friend. And SuperJihad tells Frank at one point, Frank, he goes, of course it's you. Of course. I also like when Pigman sees SuperJihad in his full suit. He wears like a skirt type thing, like a long dress, like a robe type thing. He goes, nice dress. You got to roast these guys. I love when Pigman roasts these guys. He calls them idiots and mocks their deaths. When you see guys jump for their jump from him because they realize he has pigskin leather, and they kill themselves to get away from him by smashing themselves through a glass and dropping 100, 200, or 200 feet down to the ground. And he looks down and he goes, and I repeated it, but I love this line because it makes me laugh. He goes, what a waste. He looks at the guy that he saves of glass. And also he takes a Quran and beats one of these savages to death with it, a hardcover Quran, and so on and so on. Mikey, the bid's over now. Bosh, it was like a month ago. I didn't bookmark it. No problem. My eyes on a signed Dale Keown Pitt one now. Absolutely. I remember Pitt was such a, because, you remember his work in the Hulk and stuff, but then he's like, okay, he got Dale Keown unleashed his own thing, and it looked brutal. And it's so funny because the Hulk, has that short nose quality, right, and that bestial look, like an ape. And then he took that even further, and I don't even think Pitt has nose. I mean, if I remember correctly, he just has this little, maybe a knob or something. And the way he drew him, and it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. Art says, how much that going did Mikey? I'll save my money for the singles. How much did that bid go? Jimmy says he has them as well. The 3 issues. Love the work. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Comic Books and Cahoots. Which of the Comicsgate talent would you most like to see draw a picture of Pigman? It's funny you say that because I just had it in my mind, literally thinking about Pitt, to see Dale Keown's version of Pigman. Wow. I mean, because that's right up his alley. A big guy, tall and just wide and big, and with a big gut, He's got his gut. It's funny you ask that because I just thought about that literally right now when I was thinking about the way he drew the Hulk and the way he drew Pitt. So Dale would be something else. Something else. Mikey says, if you're asking about Pitt, my lips are sealed. I want him. Absolutely, man. Keep it to yourself, Mikey. Hey, John. Our pal says, guys, again, if you could like this on YouTube, if you could like it on X, if you could subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it, guys. Share it as well. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, as always. Our pal says this is a pandemic worse than a coronavirus. I like that Walking Dead TV show on zombies where a person is bitten or infected, it's over. You talking about the jihadist threat, our pal? Because I agree, it is. It's, I think Churchill said something along the lines of like, it's a rabid thing that spreads, and there's no stronger retrograde force in the world. He called Islam, 1899, when he was a young man. There's no stronger retrograde force in the world. No stronger force to bring civilization back, to bring mankind down than Islam. And he was right then. And of course, this revisionism, oh, he loved Islam. He even maybe converted to Islam. There's actually people who think that, who actually say that. So they say that, and then they say he was India's Hitler and so on. It's like, no. Flaws and all. The guy was a great man, and he saved England. Flaws and all. Whatever his flaws were. But these scumbags, if they're not explicitly leftist, they have to vilify them. That's it. If leaders are not explicitly leftist, they have to be vilified. That's the idea. That's the thinking, quote unquote. A man called Plush. Hey, Plush. May 3rd, that's wild. 4 days before my birthday. Yeah, May 3rd is that date. It's stuck in my head. It's, a significant date. It's my birthday, that, and then a few other days in my life that are very, very important. And it happened to be that on that date, I got in that brutal accident. Oof. I say it was shaken up a little, but I was very, very lucky to walk away. And I never believed in luck. I used to dismiss the whole concept, and I just say good fortune to friends, because I couldn't even get luck. I hate it. You don't get to where you get to by luck and so on. But God damn it, I lucked out that day, because if the car hit a certain way, and also when I was hit, I didn't know anything. I didn't see it coming at all. So I didn't brace myself and hurt myself even worse, because that's the word, that if you brace yourself, you tighten yourself and try to, you're going to damage yourself even more. I was just driving and boom, I don't know where. Art says, imagine if DC had Bubble Superman having to fight terrorists who don't care if they live or not. I know. It's interesting, Art, because there's one moment in Superman Year One where Superman, becomes a Marine, and they do go after what looks to be jihadists. And of course, doesn't kill them, because DC and Frank Miller and all that bullshit. Don't put him in that position if you're not going to take him out. It's to me, have it do an Elseworld. Say, okay, this is a different version, a more ruthless version of Superman. Do that. Don't pussy out like that. You got these head choppers, you got to kill them. You can't let them live for another day to head shop again. Target children, women. Um, a man called Plush. A rare drawing of Muhammad by a recovering Muslim turned cartoons whose life was threatened. $500 is reasonable. Appreciate it, man called Plush, because believe me, I get my, hey, that's ridiculous. Like, don't tell me that. Just don't buy it. That's it. I don't want to hear it. I don't. I would never tell anyone. It's like, that's too much. It's like, I just wouldn't buy it if I actually believe it's too much. Not good. Jimmy says Fawcett cars are nice, but it's no document series. That's right. Fucking hilarious, man. Document. Oh my God. Those are embarrassing. And you know what? I think it does sound like Eric July wrote those, man. And I love when Ethan took those and roasted them. It's fucking hilarious. Document. Mikey gets back, PIGMAN. Thanks, Mikey. Appreciate it. He put the link. Power Master Jazz. Can't wait to see it. Thanks, Power Master Jazz. I assume you're talking about PIGMAN. Art says, lots of high-profile terrorist attacks lately, yes. Germany, I think, a vicious, brutal knife attack. Just today or last night? I don't know. Terrible. Terrible. These fuckers are non-stop. You cannot coexist with them. You cannot. You have to leave them in their hellholes and make sure they don't get nukes. That's what it comes down to. Post 9/11, we should have stopped immigration from any Islamic hellhole. Any, and I mean that. I don't give a fuck. You have absolute cases of true refugees who are on the run. Maybe they're ex-Muslims, maybe they're atheists, maybe they're Christians, Jews, or maybe they're just Muslims who spoke out against Islam, let's say. Individual cases, maybe. Masses of Muslims coming into the West, that's self-destruction. That's something like in World War II, would you ever have believed, would we ever have brought in Nazis by the masses and Japanese and Italians during World War II? Never. It wouldn't even have, let me show you something quick. I just was looking at it. I was going to share it, but I didn't. The context is pretty old now, so, but let me show you guys. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Let me show you. Okay. Teddy Roosevelt, supposedly, when he was president, he would not allow Islamic immigration. He would not allow it. And I think his reason was because they had many wives, and therefore, you know, they could run roughshod over us, culturally speaking, numbers-wise. But regardless, I was asked to draw this, and it's Teddy Roosevelt, you know, clocking, you know, this one Muslim who was coming in. He stopped Islamic immigration for a bit. It should have been stopped, again, completely after 9/11. Call me what you will, I don't care. I would have stopped it completely dead in its tracks. And I would never have ever, if I were president, I would never have said anything about Islam. If I didn't know, I said, okay, I don't know what we're dealing with exactly, but we know that there's a certain group that's taking responsibility. We're going to obliterate them. And we're going to go after the state sponsors of terrorism, the biggest ones from Iran, official state sponsor, to the Saudis, who are technically, well, it's just the sheikhs and all that. It's not as official as Iran. You go in there, you bomb their holy sites, bomb their holiest of holiest mosques, bomb the Kaaba out of existence, obliterate it. Say jihad's over. We didn't have the nerve. We didn't have people who were good enough, ruthless enough, honest enough to do that. We will have to get to that point. It's just that a lot of people are dead because of it. Because we didn't do our job post 9/11, over 300,000 human beings have been murdered in the name of Islam since 9/11, guys. Since 9/11. Hundreds murdered every single week. Check out thereligionofpeace.com. Every week they have the tally. So I thought that was a fun drawing, just to show that we had a little balls back then, a little more willingness to keep savages at bay. Um, Mikey, the world isn't fair. Pigman doesn't beat Mighty Morphin Patriot guys. Hilarious. Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to clearly beat me, but, you know, I have a 1,700 followers. He has 500,000 followers. It's a big difference, guys. I know I got the backing of, some of the kings and the Comic City Kings, Mondays here and there, but the bulk of it, I've been able to trickle in about, let's say, 8 to 9,000 close after that first day. I think it's pretty good, and I hope to make a strong closeout, a strong closeout, and give John, or I hope John can do it. Um, I'll see if I can get him, the comic, if he wants to take a look at it, maybe have a little more incentive um, to push it. But we'll see. He's busy. I don't expect anything. I mean, I really don't. I'm just lucky to be here. I'm glad to be here. If I can get a little backing, appreciate the hell out of it. Um, yeah, Art says lots of high-profile terrorist attacks lately. Not surprised the algorithm is sending people your way. Yeah, I haven't gotten this kind of wave of savages after me since 2018. They're swarming, and I'm trying to fight them off as best as I can. Tarks9 Hill, Power Master Jazz said they're just like the SJWs that ruin mainstream comics. They're out to ruin crowdfunding with their slop. Absolutely, no doubt about it. That's exactly right. We'll put Power Master Jazz, because I haven't heard it quite put that exact way, but it's exactly right. The way the left is out to wipe out the value of all these IPs, destroy them. These are needless. It's nothing less than that. It's not that they're trying to do good things. I can't stand when people who have a little foot in Hollywood, like Robert Meyer Burnett, that blowhard. No one sets out to make a bad movie. It's like, hey, Bobby, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. 90% of it is absolute slop. That's not by accident. It's not because they were trying their best and just failed. They don't give a fuck. Don't pretend that they do. There are very, very few artists in Hollywood. Very few. Those are the only ones worth watching and worth following. The bulk of it are absolute pieces of shit who have no business making movies. The same thing here in crowdfunding, even though they don't call it crowdfunding, the hacks and Ripverse. But they are, as Power Master Jazz says, they are here to ruin mainstream comics. Wait, the way they're trying to ruin, they're out to ruin crowdfunding. 100%. That's exactly right. They saw when Ethan came out and made it big on Cyberfrog. These rats were like, huh, the super chats are nice, but maybe I could put my name up against something creative. I'm a creative person, right? No, no, you're not. Uh, Hilarious. Some my ninja. Comic Books and Who says, hate the baby talk of forbidden words, F word, N words. I know. Doing that sort of no bullshit makes everyone sound like children. It's so, I can't stand it. Again, I don't throw that word around too much, but if I'm going to talk about it, I will. I absolutely will. Um, Headless Bourgeois. I just ordered my Muhammad Cartoon Volume 1 and my Muhammad Cartoon Volume 2. Thanks a lot, Headless Bourgeois. Appreciate it, man. I will get this out to you as soon as possible. I got about a dozen of those left, guys. Only about a dozen each. My Mama Cartoons Volume 1 and 2. Those are my last books that I have in print. All the others are out of print, from Peaceful Death Threats Volume 1 and 2, Islam Bitches, Prop Piganda, all my Pigman comics, the old ones. But if, I don't know, man, it's funny. You know what? Let's see. Let's see if there's interest. Let's see. Excuse me. I got I got one left of my old The Infidel featuring Pigman #1. And I also have 4 of issue 2. You guys want to offer something? Let me know, man. Let me know. I'd like to have them, but it depends. Give me an offer. Because I ran out of issue 3, so I couldn't sell any more package deals, which I was doing. So then something happened with some kind of printing or something, so I had more copies of issue 2 than I had of 1 and 3. So I do have the old Pigman #1. No, #1. Jihadists are a superstitious and cowardly lot, a la Bruce Wayne and Batman in issue 1. So my disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts. I must become something terrible, something they fear. I shall become a pig. And then you got, this is a Stealth Muhammad cartoon. I revealed that years later. It's fun. I love doing those things. Just a quick look, guys. Let me show you quick some of the interiors. Pigman in all his glory. So I do have one left. Someone gives me an offer that sounds good, I'll let it go. I don't want to let it go necessarily. I'd like to have it, but it is open to someone who might want it. Think about it, guys. Think about it. Okay. Appreciate it, Headless Bourgeois. Thanks, man. I will get those out to you as soon as I can. Mikey says, Bosch, what do you make of the 9/11 conspiracies? I'm tired of fighting with my grandparents about it who think Bush was behind it or oil money. It's retarded. But no offense. Grandparents can be retarded, though. But I think it's people who don't want to accept the reality that one of the world's great religions motivated that atrocity directly from the teachings of Islam to its true believers to Flanders Plains into the towers. That was a logical conclusion from that irrational, illogical religion. I know people like to say, Tower 7, right? Okay, then explain the 47,000 Islamic terrorist attacks since 9/11. If you're talking to me about numbers, if you're talking to me about Building 7, talk to me about the 47,000 jihadist attacks since 9/11. You don't want to talk about that. These are weak people who cannot handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. That's what they are. They can't handle the truth. They don't want to accept the fact that there's a religion out there that had a warlord prophet, a god, a holy book, all this, and it's evil. It's an evil religion. There are religions out there who don't want to accept the fact that religion can be evil, that there are religions that are threats to us, to our way of life. Again, we live in a nuclear age. We can't fuck around here. We can't fuck around. And I touch on that in the future issue of Pigman, that we live in a nuclear age, and these guys, they're playing for all the marbles. They're not fucking around. They want it all. They want this earth. They feel they're entitled to this earth to begin with, by the way. This Islamic enemy, again, they believe that everyone here right now with me and me, we were all born Muslim, but we were all corrupted away from it by all these evil forces. Our natural state, mankind, is to be on our knees in prayer to Allah. We are to be Allah's slaves. That's mankind. And every part of this earth is theirs. Every part. That's what they believe. And also this idea that I had the piece of shit Muslim today trying to tell me about innocence, that it condemns the killing of innocence. And I had to post my line again. I said, you know what? Let me share it with you, actually. Just quick. I have a cartoon where there's a guy, an infidel, with on his forehead, Muslim. innocent until proven guilty until proven Muslim. That's the idea. Guilty until proven Muslim. I said so. I said also. I said with Muslims going hog wild with their lies, they have gone hog wild. By the way, a reminder: when Muslims speak of innocence, they speak of Muslims. According to Islam, non-Muslims are guilty until proven Muslim. Keep this in mind when Muslims invoke innocence, and I take that down in issue old 3, the new 2 of PIGMAN. I take it down in a courtroom scene with this Muslim who tries to invoke the idea about innocence being beloved in Islam and not hurt. No, only Muslims are innocent in Islam. Everyone else outside of Islam is guilty. The same goes for communists, the way they feel it. And guys, also, I gotta mention something else. I posted something the other day. I thought, I gotta say, it was a very effective way to put it. I never put it this way before. But it's worth putting it out there. It's a post that I put. I said, the last people in the world who tell you the truth about Islam are Muslims. Just as the last people in the world who tell you the truth about socialism are socialists. They're both fundamentally dishonest belief systems that need to keep outsiders in the dark until it's too late. That's a fact, guys. That's a fact. Muslims do not tell outsiders what Islam actually is. There is an omerta type thing in Islam. It's kitman, it's taqiyya, all these multiple ways to lie to infidels, to protect themselves from this thing of ours. Like the mafia says, this thing of ours, that's what they think. It's a criminal conspiracy, is what it is. And again, I don't buy this also, guys. It's not a religion. It is a religion. The thing that makes you try to fight that is why it gets away with murder, meaning we have to accept the fact that religion can be evil. It has to be fought. And whether that makes you feel bad about your own religion, that's your problem. That's your problem. We have to take this on, honestly, directly. We can't pussyfoot around. We can't say, okay, Islam's evil because it's not a religion, or Islam is religion so it can't be evil, so it can't be bad. No. Islam is a religion and it's evil. It has to be fought on all fronts. So yeah, I don't buy any of that, Mikey. I think it's a simple fact that jihadists have been at war with us for decades and decades. And when they saw us being pussies, letting them attack our ships, letting them attack our Marines, 241 Marines, 1983, under a strong President, Reagan, he let them get away with it. He regretted it in his memoir. Not good enough, Reagan. Not good enough. You should have done something. They see that. They say, we can take these guys. They're irrational, first of all, guys. They fly planes into buildings believing they're flying into paradise. These are not sane people. They're insane. We have to treat them as such. And they're insane in their idea that they can beat us also. That's insanity. But they're proving themselves right against the cowards that are in charge. They are. And then, when Trump goes to Qatar and when he goes to Saudi Arabia and stuff, it's like, that's ugly, stupid shit. I don't give a fuck what kind of deals you make. You're making a compromise here with evil. You're talking up a terrorist who's now the leader of Syria, calling him a good-looking guy. That's stupid shit, Trump. It's dumb. I voted for him happily, proudly. I thought, what he did, fight, is a powerful thing. I still support a lot of what he does, but it's always feet to the fire, guys. Never lips to the ass. Feet to the fire, feet to the fire, feet to the fire. No matter if you like him, no matter if you hate him, feet to the fire. You have to call them out. When Trump does stupid shit like that, which he does, he canceled the iftar dinner in the White House in his first term. Good. I was very happy. He brought it back in this term. Why? He has a piece of shit snake in his ear, Tucker Carlson, a piece of shit, who's been blowing Islam since October 7th. Is going to spending a lot of time in the Islamic world. Why? Because they're paying him, that's why. He made an actual commercial for them, guys. These are bad people. Bad. And you got to call them out. I'm sorry, what's happening? I'm sorry, guys. I see. Okay. Very, very cool. Headless Bourgeois Bosch. It's wild that Malin is considered the mean bully of CG when he's really one of the most principled. Absolutely. John is. I mean, um, I know the guys try to have fun in here and there, and they, but when I really, really appreciate when these guys take a serious stand to get pissed off about something that gets in the way of their livelihood and so on, and they have to talk hard. I like that. I don't like the too much indulgence personally. I don't like that stuff. I don't like talking up Kanye. Kanye's a piece of shit. He's also retarded. I don't, I think some of the kings like to pretend that he's a bold guy. He's a piece of shit. He's a dumb fuck also. And I got to say, guys, with him coming out there and saying he's done with anti-Semitism, you know, people accepted his Hitler love. They accepted the fact that he blew his cousin for years. But now he just crossed line, man. He just crossed line, you know. So yeah, but John, grab an oar. I love that idea. It's a great spirit to have. We're all in the same boat here, and we all wanted to have different choices in our comic book career. These guys worked in the mainstream. I wanted to get into the mainstream. I was always at the door. I was with the art director of DC. I was with the editor-in-chief, Joe Quesada. He loved Table for One. He loved the idea. He loved that drawing. He goes, "You got more?" I said, "I got 81 pages." He goes, send it. It ended up in the hands of his assistant editor, Axel Alonso, piece of shit commie, and because he got sick. But I always was there. And then I was, nominated for an Eisner Award. I'm sitting at one table. You got Brian Michael Bendis and Joe Quesada there. You have this, DC, and I'm in the mix. Even though I'm an independent artist, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to be nominated for an Eisner. At least 2004, 2005. Maybe not now. But to me, it was an absolute honor. I love it. I love having been nominated for my first book right out of the gate. Means a lot, man. So yeah, he is Headless Bourgeois, definitely. John's great. Comic books and Coots. Malin cuts to the point when a point needs to be made. As far as pro talent joining Comics 8, he was the first man over the wall. Absolutely right. I think he was when with that little, they try to make it into a scandal. It was no scandal. They just want any excuse to knock out people who are not them. That's what these savages do. These leftist rats. Mikey gets Bosch didn't choose the comic life. The comic life chose him. LOL. Hilarious. It's funny. I will counter. Ethan mocks those who say that they get their morality from comics. Hey, man. All I had was around me was Islam, liars, cheaters, lowlifes. And the only thing I had going for me was movies, heroes, comic books. That's what kept me connected to morality, to truth, to something good outside of Islam. So in my case, different. Maybe in his case and others, I get it. You got your family, friends, you have your religion, whatever. I didn't have that. I had to go outside of that. And the place that I sought was heroes. I loved heroes. Loved them. I still love them. I think the exceptional, those who say and do the things that most people don't. That's something to live up to try to, live up to. Power, Master Jazz, they can't just be killed. They got to be humiliated. 100%. I mean, you roast them and you kill them. You have to. You have to mock them there. Because, guys, if you take Islam seriously, meaning, okay, outside of the violence, it's a ludicrous religion. Meaning it's a ludicrous religion. But people are afraid to call it that because of the violence. At a certain point, Muhammad was like, I got to kill the laughter, man. I got to kill this laughter. I got to make them take it seriously because they sure as hell aren't taking me seriously with my word of Allah bullshit. But I got to take him seriously. What do? I got to kill. The first two people he killed when he went back to Mecca from Medina was a poet and a writer who mocked him. First ones, he assassinated them. That tells you something about him and the nature of Islam then and now. It's the same shit now. If you mock Islam, they try to kill you. If you draw Muhammad, they try to kill you. So mockery is a big deal. It's a great weapon against them. They cannot stand it. To the point where even if guys who were side with Hamas, these savages in the West, who are not even Muslim, they might as well be, but they're not. Even telling me the other day, because I drew that piece of shit, the idiot, Theo Von, right? I drew that animal because he went to Qatar like an animal. And then he comes back and he's like, I got to say something. The kids, the children, it's genocide. He's retarded. He looks like a retard. He has a dumb mullet and he's retarded. So I drew him as the retarded guy he is. Let me show you. Let me show you. 1 second, guys. Let me show you. If you didn't see it, I don't know if I showed you the old day. Did I? I'm not sure. It seems like days have just completely... I've been so busy making this move and doing a lot of other things that I lost track. But let me show you what I mean here. I'll put it on the screen. Okay. And by the way, that guy Jake Shields, if you know him, the animal, that piece of shit, who to this day will cry about how you can't say anything about Jews. That's all he says. That's all he says. Jews, 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 Jews. That's all he says. And he says, you can't say anything, you get punished. Bro, you've got far more followers now than you ever had because of that. Don't lie. So I made this cartoon of the imbecile who was blowing Islam. And I made him say, Jen, side, latest Qatar, Theo Von. He's gotten, money from Qatar as well. So I said, you went full Qatar, Theo Von. Never go full Qatar. And then that piece of shit, Jake Shields, look at his retarded retort. You kill babies. You kill babies. So I asked him, I said, why do you murder children? Why do you murder babies, Jake? And I got a wave of savages going after me that I haven't had in a long time. But this guy's retarded. He's always been dumb, but now he's just dumber because he opened his mouth about something he has zero idea about. And I mean zero. Doesn't know shit. He said it. Look, I don't know about this, but children, children. Anyone who invokes children, always be suspicious of them. Always. Anyone who invokes the children, politicians do that. The scum of the earth did it. That whore, Nancy Pelosi, just did it today. It's all about the children with me. That's my career. It's all about children. No whore. It's all about power and money with you, and to destroy the country from within. That's what it's about. So never trust anyone who says the children. Nobody. And I mean nobody. If I say it, just cut me off, man. If I ever pull that shit. Whatever you think as an individual parent, whatever, this and that, different story. I'm talking about people who have power, who want power. People who want to wipe out others. They talk about the children. And these people who talk about the children, they don't talk about the children who were murdered and kidnapped and still in their possession today. They don't give a fuck about children. And one thing also, I had to note this also. I had to note that, let me get it. That in terms of the Islamic enemy, what they do to themselves, to their own people. I had to post this today as a reminder to those who can't think, who don't want to think. I said, when quote-unquote Palestinians aren't murdering Jews, they're murdering each other. For those who pretend to care about how Muslims are treated, no one treats Muslims more savagely than Muslims. No one. It's a fact. That's a fact. Nobody kills more Muslims than Muslims and so on. So this idea that we should concern ourselves with the well-being of Muslims, like Muslims don't give a fuck about them. Why the fuck should we? We have our own problems. We have our own lives. Um, hey, Diana. Hi, Bosch. Hi, Chad. This is the cover that I purchased from the crowdfunding, and the twin brothers are also on the cover. Love this. Thank you, Diana. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is part of the. This is the top part of the cover of the four main characters. You got Pigman on the left, SuperJihad on the right, Salam Duca on the bottom right, and Killian Duke on the bottom left. Thanks, Dan. Egon Dragoncock says, I remember Dale telling the story about why Pitt has no nose. It was a happy accident. He originally had one. He erased it to redraw it and loved how it looked and it kept it. That is so cool. There's something about that. And that's why it's not clearly as obvious here, but I had a snout, on Pigman. It was more like, like the Batman. Some artists do it where they make the line here and then it goes like a triangle type thing. And I thought about that for Pigman, and it does end up being that way somewhat. But it was too big. I didn't like the way it looked. So I said, you know what? Let me take a little liberty here. This is a human being. But when he has the mask on, I make his nose shorter than it would be in real life, quote unquote. So it's a short nose. It's a short snout. It just looks better to me. A long upper lip, a big jaw, and a short snout. Something about it. I like that look. It's a little more monstrous, like a beast. He's referred to as the beast by Muslims and jihadists. They don't even have the word pig come to their mind. But guys, also, if you're new here, I got thousands of new followers. And by the way, the booker for Tim Pool's show did contact me and did say she's going to book me. I hope it happens. Who knows? I've gotten so many offers to be on so many shows. They always fall through. Not always, but sometimes they fall through. But I'd love to go on. I'd love to talk about free speech and Pigman and Comicsgate and, get this out there. And again, the whole point for me is to get this. It's interesting. Mainstream superhero comic books have been publishing Muslim superheroes, Islamic propaganda at a time of war. That's traitorous. It's nothing less than that. The only reason we began to discuss Islam is because of jihad. That's the only reason. And what's the one thing that they take out of their comics? Jihad. So they just want to make Islam look good. May want to make Islam a little girl, a little teenager in New Jersey, Miss Marvel. They want to make Islam this Green Lantern, the way Jeff Johns created him. Why? Well, Jeff said, yeah, because it's part of your what? You're a Christian. Why'd you make him Christian? Anyway, that bullshit. The point is that this wouldn't exist in any mainstream way. You guys are helping to get this into the culture. And if I get on Tim Pool, it'll push it further. It'll make it more mainstream, more acceptable, more part of the culture, that there is a comic book out there that takes on this evil. Mainstream superheroes used to take on real world enemies, America's enemies. They used to. This is a throwback in a lot of ways. It's nothing new. I mean, we used to take on our enemies. No one took on this enemy in the way that I am, at least in a serious way, where I'm taking on Islam itself, not just the surface jihad. I'm taking on as deep as I can, the ideology, and I discuss it in the comic in an entertaining way as I can. I'm not being didactic. I'm not putting it over your head. I'm trying not to, at least, with a hammer over your head. No, I'm trying to make it as engaging, as integrated within the story as I can. This knowledge about Islam and what it is. Jimmy says, great choice on Dale. Personally thought Graham Nolan did a great drawing of Pigman. He did, man. He did. It was great. I got to ask him about that. Maybe I can get it off of him. I know he doesn't like selling his originals. I think that's a case with Graham, or at least if I can get a scan of it. I'd love to maybe color it or something. It was really good. He's taken down 2 jihadists and drew him really well. It's awesome. Awesome. The Peanut Gallery. Hey, Peanut Gallery. I'm so sorry that you're getting threats from moronic savages, man. Appreciate that. But I will say this, Peanut Gallery. The first death threat I got, it shook me. I gotta say, 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago. Then it becomes white noise, and then it becomes funny, and then it becomes a point where that death threat's not as good as that one. Mm, no, no, no. That's what it becomes. You live with it. And that's why I only use the quote unquote best death threats. My book's peaceful death threats. Um, it got to the point where it was like, my God, it becomes white noise. These savages. I did report though to savages this week who threatened me on X, and I also got another threat from a non-Muslim, which is, yeah, I mean, again, there's this dirty thing that's happening with some people on the right. Their Jew hatred is trumping anything good about whatever else they like, Trump and so on. And I like to remind these rats, say, Trump is pro-Israel. He's has Jews in his family now, in his extended family. He is a friend of Israel, arguably its greatest ever. They hate that, but they voted for him, and I like to remind them that you voted for a pro-Israel president. Don't forget that. Egon the Dragoncock says none of those zeros are creative. None of them are, Egon. When they get the opportunity to actually create something, it just exposes them, and they almost fall on the sheet tropes, on the shit tropes they claim to be against. On the tropes, yes, 100%. That's exactly right. They're untalented hacks. They made their bones trashing, and the moment I realized, because I still sent out, to Neurotic, I thought he was an actual comic book guy. He has Pigman comics through Dave Landau on Normal World, because I knew him and he knows them, and I said, hey Dave, can you get us him? A few years ago, because I thought these guys love comics, right? No, they don't love comics. If they did, they would have me on, they would have read it and say, wow, this is interesting, this is good, this is a culture war stuff, right? Which they pretend to be about. No, they're about safety. They're about their crew. They're about things that don't fuck with their money. That's what they're about. Whereas Ethan has me on. Not only does he have me on, and in a way where maybe some of the Kings weren't crazy initially. I'm just assuming. I'm not putting anything on anyone, but they've embraced me. I feel nothing but welcome there. But then Ethan plays the hilarious video introduction that DJ Grave Mix or someone else made. I'm sorry if I forgot, guys. It's funny. It shows my volume 1 of my Mama cartoons and me going through it with this fast guitar music. It's hilarious. Nobody does that. Ethan does it. He has my respect. That's not something that most people would do. It's a very, very rare thing to have me on there and to show that. So I appreciate the hell out of it. I love it. Absolutely, Egon. They are. So my point was that the big tell of who these people were was when they were peddling Riververse ISOM 1 as hard as they could, wearing the hats and t-shirt, everything, and then said nothing about the actual comic. Zero. Nothing bad, nothing good. Zero. Nothing. It's like, oh, I see. And then when people criticize it, they went after him. It's like, bitch, that's all you guys do. All you do is criticize. And sometimes you shit on good stuff. Daredevil was good, the TV show. It's woke as shit. It's not. It was good. That episode with Miss Marvel's father stuff, terrible. Even Charlie Cox, he was navigating pretty well. He hated that episode. It's interesting, man. He was saying something about that without saying something about it. I thought that was interesting. But he's a great actor. Love him playing Matt Murdock and Daredevil. Love, Vincent D'Onofrio playing Kingpin. It's great. And I'm glad that they're back doing it. And it's a good show. It's not great. It's not like the old one. It's good. It's a lie to say it's terrible and it sucks and it's nothing. It's a lie. It's a lie to say that even if some of them said that No Way Home. No Way Home's a great Spider-Man movie. I had a ball watching it. I loved it. It's not shit. The Spider-Man cartoon, even you guys are here might hate it. I love the fact that Peter Parker is Peter Parker in there. And I know that they say, oh, he's just a bitch, Yeah, sure. You guys didn't watch it. Clearly didn't watch it. Peter Parker is Peter Parker, Spider-Man is Spider-Man in there. And the idiots, the DEI whores in there, Disney, they made rainbows out of everyone. Harry Osborn is black, and Norman Osborn, and the Scorpion is like Scarface. You got a problem. That's what they did. And still, all that, it was good. Doctor Strange was well done. Peter, Spider-Man were well done. I like that style. I like the throwback animation also. I like it. And it has a little, of course, it has the Spider-Man, and then it goes to a rap shit. But whatever. The point is that not everything sucks. Some things are good. I'm watching Andor right now. I wasn't going to, but I'm watching it. It's good. I don't like the actor, the main actor. I think he sucks. He has zero charisma, zero appearance. There's nothing about him. But it's a well done, good writing, good directing, and a more serious take on this. Not necessarily Star Wars, I gotta say. It's because they're trying to make it like Earth. It's like clubs and raves and Mon Mothma dancing off. And it's some stuff. It's like, what the fuck? But there's quality there, and you got to recognize it. These guys don't. They make too much money to recognize it. That's when you knew, okay, these guys are full of shit. Full of shit. So yeah. Egon Dreadcock says SJW tropes. Yeah, I hear you. The Guerrilla Patriot. What did I just stumble across? Well, you tell me, Guerrilla Patriot. You might be one of these assholes or a friend. We'll see. Peter Gallery. Yes, Muhammad was an evil pedo, much like Gandhi. I don't know about that about Gandhi, but Gandhi was also a savage. You know, he was a savage. He said something about, well, the Jews should have just offered their throats to the Nazis. That's a savage right there. That's a savage. I don't give a fuck what else, you know, all these virtues allegedly attributed to him. That's a savage. Art says, hi, Patriot. This is Bosch pitching Pigman, the only anti-jihad superhero. Most won't draw such things out of fear of retaliation by the religious peace. Thanks, Art. Appreciate it. Our pal says, Islam is an organized crime syndicate. Indeed. It is. The closest I ever came to using terms other than Islam to describe was organized Islam, because it's not a term like radical Islam. It's an understanding of Islam is bad as such. When it's organized, it's even worse. It's even more dangerous. And by organized, I mean not just because someone had a good term. John David Lewis, who was an objectivist, a great man, wrote a great book, and died, unfortunately. Anyway, he said state Islam. That was better than the others, but it's also a limited term because it's not just state Islam. It's not just state actors. It's individual bloggers. It's the stealth jihadists with their YouTube channels and blogs and X accounts who are spreading this vile shit. So it's individuals and organizations at large working together towards pushing Islam down our throats. So Egon Dragcock says it's disheartening but not surprising to see Trump cozy up to that new Syrian leader and MBS. It's sickening. It's like, it's so bad. It's like, who the fuck? Trump has to tighten up things, man. He really does. He calls a terrorist, he's good looking. It's like, that's pretty gay, Trump. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you talking about his looks? This guy was a jihadist last month. He still is, but now he wears a suit, and therefore he's not a jihadist now? No, he's a jihadist in a suit. That's what he is. Terrible. Jimmy the Lumberjack says, did Tucker do the headiest laugh? That laugh is creepy. Something like a villain in Flores Park, Texas. Hilarious. It's as bad as Kamala's. I mean, I know it's like, well, Tucker's laugh is good because he's one of ours. No, he's a piece of shit, first of all, guys. He's a Islam whore. What the fuck is he doing, Mr. America First? All over the Islamic world. Why? Qatar, the UAE, Turkey, in Saudi Arabia with his counterpart, Piers Morgan. That's his soulless mate. That's his soulless brother. They're twins. Media whores for 30 years, both of them. They will go left, right, any which way to make a buck. That's what they're about. And Tucker's, the insincerity that he has, looking at people, on the show, out of nowhere, cackling like a villain, and saying not one word against Islam, zero. Someone said the other day, I know. I said, go find him. At least since 10/7, since he sold out officially. He has a Muslim donor now for his company. Why? He's going to Qatar to to the Saudis for what? You know for what. Anyway, we don't need that. Keep that on the left. He's poisoning the right by doing it. He's also poisoning Trump. I think he had a lot to do with Trump stupidly going to Qatar and to the Saudis, as if they have anything to offer us. Zero to offer us. Zero. Just don't fuck with us. That's all we ask. Because we will make you pay for it. Our pal says, read the book, The Great Game, Britain going up against Russia and Islam being used as a tool to consolidate. That's a fiction book, it sounds like, right? Our pal? Mikey Getz says, I always knew to be a good person, but comics made me want to be like Superman. Absolutely. That's the thing, it's, again, I've heard Ethan, I think on 2 occasions at least, dismiss that idea and laugh at those who say that. Nah, man, with me, it was a serious thing. Seeing Peter Parker go through his trials and Matt Murdock, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Superman, all these characters going through the shit, going through this stuff. Daredevil in particular, the way Frank Miller wrote it, Born Again, it's like, my God, he put them through hell. That's what you do. That's what the best writers do, though. They don't see these characters as precious little things not to fuck with. No, you have to take them and throw them as hard as you can against a wall and see what they're made of. That's why I throw Pigman and Killian in hellholes and see what they're made of. I put them in situations where it's so dire, they might not even make it. And to see what they're made of. It's very important for an artist to do that in their work, and for the reader to be engaged on that level. It's deadly important for a story. Deadly. Jimmy says, yes, for me it was Captain America. Captain America, man, when written well, you got Captain America written by Frank Miller, drawn by David Mazzucchelli, issue 237. No, 233 of Daredevil. Excellent. In that one issue, that was Captain America. It was Kirby's Captain America, written by Frank Miller, and written beautifully. A soldier with a voice that could command a god, and does, where he tells Thor to put the rain down on the fires. I mean, doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. What a great, great way that. And also, there was a story that Roger Stern wrote and that Frank Miller drew in Marvel Fanfare that Joe Rubinstein inked, who inked also the Wolverine series that Frank Miller drew. A good story, a good Captain America story. Not an all-time great, but it ended up being in the Marvel Fanfare. It was, I don't know what it was for. It was Frank Miller doing his going close to Ronin style version art of Captain America, holding the burning flag and with a tear coming down his eye, pointing at I guess those who burned it. Just that raw emotion, You don't want to overdo it with heroes crying, but at times, like Wolverine, when Mariko walks from the wedding and you get that tear. That's cool. Just let that one tear go down. Don't have him on his knees like a piece of shit. Kevin Smith decided to have Matt Murdock crying like a bitch for pages. When something happened to him, it's like, that's not Matt Murdock. That's not his thing. It's not who he is. It's not what a grown man does. I don't care what happens. Okay, I've had my trials and things. I don't find myself doing that. There's a kind of self-respect that doesn't allow you to do that. But it's, of course, Kevin Smith. He's a piece of shit, so he, of course, does that. He also had the Joker reading the Fountainhead, by the way, in a Batman comic. That's who he is, Kevin Smith. Because Kevin Smith looks at Ayn Rand and gets offended because he's like, wait a minute, I'm a piece of shit in this story. Oh yeah, I can have the Joker read it. Yeah, that's my revenge. Yeah, sure. And now, where is he, Kevin Smith, on the cultural plane? Comic books, pop culture, movies. Where is he? Nowhere. He fucked up with that, he sold out the I guess the Masters Universe thing. I don't know. I didn't watch it, but that's what I heard at least. He went full blown, leftist on there. Mikey Get says those Theo fan fights were great. LOL. I met Theo Vaughn at a comedy club. Went up to say hi, and he got all up in my face like laser eyes did to Riley. Dude's a cunt. Huh? Is that right, Mikey? Meaning he treated you, a fan, like shit? That tells you something, doesn't it? I know he's retarded. I know that. I don't think he even says he's not. Interesting. Interesting. Watch Lover Raleigh says, how long were you forced to be Muslim or were your parents more chill? I was born to Albanian Muslim parents. I guess you can call it forced, but it's born into it. And they were lax. But as I always say, the misogyny, the Jew hatred was not lax, hardcore. This idea that those around us are not us, they're aliens, they're not good like us, and so on. There's a kind of bigotry there, an inherent bigotry. Even those who didn't observe the religion, even those who, like my parents, had a Quran in the house that was in Arabic. They couldn't read Arabic, so they didn't know shit about the religion. They just dealt with the atmospherics of Islam, as Hugh Fitzgerald writes about. He writes on Jihad Watch. Hugh talks about the atmospherics of Islam, meaning even those who are not observant of it still get the dehumanization aspect into them. And I'm lucky. I was born and raised here, had friends who were Jewish, learned about the Holocaust, learned about, other things in history that it had to be like, okay, there's something, I think that's not true, what they're telling me. And also I have family members who loved Hitler because he killed more Jews than anyone. And they're telling me that Hitler would have loved you because of my looks. So it's poisonous shit, man. Poisonous shit. Hey, Floaty. How's it going? Jimmy the Lumberjack says Theo Vaughn is the real Joe Dirt, real life Joe Dirt. David Spade must be slapping himself on the head, wondering why he did not lean into the character more. Absolutely. That's hilarious. Art says Tim doesn't care who he angers, including Muslims. If he wants you on one, no one is going to stop him. I hope that is the case, because I do want to go on, Art. I definitely want to go on. I want to, to spread the word on a big platform and go at it if I have to with some of the crowd that he hangs with, who some leftists, as far as I know, or try to bring up the Palestinian babies and all that. Please, let's have that, let's have that talk. And also free speech, and show him, and also draw him, can I draw Pigman on the air? I mean, sorry, Muhammad on the air and give it to him, or give him a little index card drawn. Hey, Tim, thanks. We'll see. Make him as Muhammad. Instead of the beanie, I'll make a turban. But we'll see. I hope to get on. I am now in contact with his booker. She's officially his booker. I know that. And she hates Islam and loves my work, and shared one of my interviews, my recent interviews, and is best friends with a woman who did that interview with me. So small world, man, small world. But I would like to see it, because Tim Pool rocked that piece of shit Adam Conover. He roasted him, called him basically a pussy without saying. He goes, you'd never make fun of Islam. And he goes, what? Well, why would I? I have no jokes about Islam. Yeah, because you're a pussy. It's ludicrous, Islam. Again, the only reason why people don't make jokes about it is they're going to get their necks slit. It's like, no, that's why you have to roast it. That's why you have to go after it, because of that. Mike High TV Dub. Hey, Hail Bosh in chat. Been a while since I was in a chat. How's it going, man? At least here. How's it going, guys? Glad you're here, guys. Appreciate it. Michael says Kamala Khan also doesn't wear a hijab. They portray an unrealistic reality in a minority. 100%, Michael. That's their, it's Islamic propaganda is what it is. Look at Islam. It's a nice teenager girl who's sweet and fun and, loves superheroes, right? She loves superheroes. Isn't that idolatrous? Isn't that against Islam? And so on and so on. Yeah. Comic Books and Cahoots writes, Will Pigman ever go after the money laundering financial cabals that funnel cash and assets to the jihad? Well, there's one moment where and it'll be issue 2 in this iteration, issue 2, where he goes into a skyrise and goes to one of those money men and brings him justice. And the guy says, I'm not a terrorist. He goes, you pay terrorists to murder men, women, children, ... and babies. So I do deal with that. I deal with the mullahs in Iran, as he calls them, the mullah fuckers. He goes, America Akbar, mullah fuckers, It's fun stuff like that, man. These little puns. So yeah, he does go after the money men. Mikey yet says they're about shitting on Disney movies. That's it. True, Mikey. It's as dirty as that. That's a dirty thing to do also. It's like, I understand Disney is fucked around. I made my own cartoons about Disney. I made this one cartoon called Icky Mouse. It's the back of Mickey Mouse opening up a trench coat, which is all stains on it, with the M falling down to the ground. Icky Mouse. Yeah, because I couldn't stand them shoving gay shit into children's movies. That's obscene to me. Children are not about sex at all. You're trying to fuck them up. You're trying to confuse them. You're trying to make them gay. There's a movement. These are communist gays. By the way, the LGBT is a communist gay movement. It's not a gay movement. It's a communist gay movement. Black Lives Matter is a communist, racist black movement, and so on. The feminists are a female communist movement. They were trying to shove, they want to create more gays, more, that's what their goal is. Like, we're a small minority. We want to get numbers. Let's fuck these kids up. Let's confuse the fuck out of them and make them gay. It's not an exaggeration, guys. That's what they're doing. Is this whore at Disney said, I sprinkle in all this gay stuff. Just sprinkle it in all the movies. That's obscene. These are deviants. And again, I don't give a fuck what you do in your private life, but if you're going to try to shove that shit into children's stuff, yeah, I'm going to call you out. And if you notice, guys, do they really do that? This crew, do they go and condemn them on to that level? I don't think so. I think they just trash them. They trash Disney. Nothing they can do. Okay, even this, guys. There's a new Buffy the Vampire with Sarah Michelle Gellar plays. I guess she's in the new series with a younger version of Buffy type thing, right? And that's terrible, according to a 60-year-old guy named Neurotic. Like, why is it terrible? They have the IP. It might be good. Some new shows sometimes are good. He shat on it from the outset at the concept level. That's not honest. It's not. Dexter, right? They had the Dexter first, like a prequel, right? Could have been shit. It wasn't. It was good. It was well done. Not everything's bad. It's bullshit. The writing and the acting in Andor is good. Some stuff in there I can care less for. But overall, my God, it's better than anything I've seen in Star Wars. I don't remember the last Star Wars series I saw. I think Obi-Wan, which was horrific. Ethan called it 9 out of 10. I have to call him out publicly. I said, that's impossible. The Sopranos is 10 out of 10. This can't be 9 out of 10. I think he gets caught up in a moment sometimes, unfortunately. Like Joker. Joker shit. Joker 2 shit. I think Ethan knows that now. I think Barbie shit. As I said, he still says Barbie's a great movie. It's not made for me. It's made for women. It's not made for women. It's made by commie whores for commie whores. That's all. The only virtue it had was Ken, played by Ryan Gosling, who did a great job. He was funny. He was passionate. He was angry. He was all this. He was real. The only real thing in there. But that's another thing. Mike High T TV dub. It looks like it's spelled a little differently this time, Mike. I don't know. Nerog is only about his super chat, pay pigs, no integrity at all. Same with his crew. This is true. It's exactly true. It's not an exaggeration to say that. It's not. And they just, it seems like they get off on shitting on this stuff. And it's like, you guys are not, it's one thing for Alex Toth to shit on Steve Root, right? Who's a great artist. Root is a great artist. And he's also has enough integrity, enough self-respect to still show on a video the other day, some Toth character, designs, right? He's not butthurt to the end of days. He knows Toth ripped him. And whether he agreed or not, that's a master taking out a good artist and saying, this is shit, this is shit. These guys are shit. Taking on people who do this for a living. Some of them are good at what they do. Terry Matalis, who did the Picard season 3. If you didn't watch that, you're gonna believe the bullshit about it. I think even Ethan said something about at the ending. Well, this whole thing is, the women are in charge. Guys, we don't deal with that. All we dealt with was an actual show. That's the send-off that the studio probably told him to do. It's a really good season. It's as good. It was so good to have a breath of fresh air of a quality Star Trek series, at least the season, because I tried to watch Picard. I was out by the second episode, I believe. I was out. Then I heard from some people that Chris Gore or someone that the season 3, I was like, I don't know. Chris Gore made one, a big fuck up with American Fiction. Sucked. That shit sucked. The premise was good. The execution sucked. And I was like, I'm not sure about his recommendations. But Picard 3 season 3 is good. It's really good. It's well written. It's well acted. The whole crew's back. Really good. Don't buy the bullshit about, well, the ending. The ending went nowhere. Meaning, it's a setup for a future thing. Let it. I don't care. Let that not happen. It's about what happened on the actual show that was really good. And this guy's doing Vision Quest. I think it's called Vision Quest. I think it is, or something. The Vision, right? This guy's doing a Vision show with, Ultron and some others. I'm like, I'm interested. It can't be what it's been. This guy's a good showrunner. He's a good writer. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going to shit on it preemptively. That's what these guys do now. It's terrible. I love movies. I love art. I love comics. I love things to be good. I'm looking forward to Superman. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope the Fantastic Four is good. We'll see. Hope Mission Impossible is good. Mikey says, I'm autistic. I don't see the big deal about being your friend, Bosch. As in, it's you might pay a price for it. Is that the idea? Some people are like that. I got people writing me, and I tell them not to write me again, telling me I'm afraid to buy your stuff. I'm like, don't write me. Don't do that. Buy it or don't. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about your cowardice. I'm taking the risk. You're not. So I need your support, and if you're not going to give it, okay, just don't tell me that you're a pussy about it. Why tell me? Tell it to yourself. Tell it to your therapist or priest. Michael says they don't even promote the recent Rippaverse shit. They only care about Disney princesses at this point. It's so true, man. It's embarrassing, man. These guys are obsessed with Disney princesses. Mikey says, let's try to get another backer. Please, Mikey put a link in the chat, guys, for Pigman. Please consider backing Pigman, guys. I spent the last hour, almost 2 hours now, talking about it and going back and forth with you guys. And, I want to sell it. I want to sell it to you guys. I want to interest you in this. And I need your support. I really do. I want your backing. I want you to get it and then to go strong to issue 2 and go from there. The Peanut Gallery says, absolutely adore Spider-Man, the animated series in the 90s. I liked a number of those things. The original Spider-Man. It was so funny. It was like a really masculine voice for a young teenager. Hey, for Peter Parker, which was hilarious. Power Masters Jazz says Amazon Prime is a semi-new Zorro series. That's pretty good, huh? Okay, I will check it out. I like the Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins, Zorro with Catherine Zeta-Jones also. That was good, man. Very good. Funny, entertaining as hell, exciting, good adventure, good stuff. Flatty one, no one nor humanity needs comics to survive, but there are individuals that need comics to thrive. And humanity needs an interpretive art form to thrive, to inspire us to become more than we are. Absolutely, Flatty. I just love the medium, love the heroic nature of the medium. There is something, this is heroic. The fiction here is just heroic. I mean, it's for superheroes, not just for heroes, superheroes, right? Take it to the extreme. These guys are supposed to be super good, not shit the way they are now, but it's a great medium. The static image with words, there's something about it, man. There's a power there. There's a power there that static image that can just stop you cold. There's something there. You're not on the move. It's not, no. It's just, and you just like look at that and say, wow, okay. And you get that emotional content if you write it well as well. If you have effective visuals with the words, you get the double whammy. It's awesome. Only the best cartoonists can do that, but when they do, it lifts the medium and it makes it go on. Flatty one says Spade hated Joe Dirt, walked out of the premiere, if I remember correctly. That's hilarious. Egon Dragcock says, I've lost so much respect for Kevin Smith. I loved his early movies, but seeing what he's become, whenever I see them now, there was a certain phoniness and pussyish in the quality of him. 100%, Egon. He is a pussy. That's for sure. Peanut Gallery says, Egon the Dragcock, yeah, I agree. I feel the same way about Jack Black, too. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the last few movies of Jack Black. I heard he was in the Mandalorian, my God, with that fat pig. Lilo? I forget her name. Stuff. I've liked Jack Black, Tenacious D is hilarious. But I don't know. Egon Dragcock says Marvel can't get rid of Santa Amanat soon enough. It will never happen. I know, my God. There was a scandal though with her, if you remember a few years ago. Something to do with a sexual thing with a worker there where they had to get rid of her. But of course, being whores, being fruits, they said, we can't fire her. She's Muslim, so let's just ship her off to Marvel Studios. So now she's part of Daredevil, corrupting Daredevil. She brought her bullshit character, the father of Miss Marvel, into the Daredevil show. And where the name of Miss Marvel was invoked 4 times, it was so embarrassing. Like, look, my character, because she gets, I guess, maybe something in return for that. Maybe she gets a little buck for that every time she's mentioned. I don't know. It was filthy. Mikey Getz says, I grew up on knowing Miss Marvel as a hot blonde girl on the X-Men cartoon, yep, and now she's an annoying little Muslim girl with a stupid design costume power is absolutely right. Terrible. She's drawn very unattractively. Even the actress who plays her is fat. It's like, the hell, man. I mean, there's something about Marvel also not being as demanding of certain actors. Like in the Eternals, you got the fat Chinese guy, the fat black guy, you have this, that. It's like, how about working out? The Muslim girl, they're like, oh no, we can't tell her to work out. Work out. You're supposed to play a superhero. There's something about it, something dirty about it. Like they have lower standards for them. They don't expect them to do as good as the other actors. They bust her ass like Chris Hemsworth and also Chris Evans did. They busted her ass to make the body look super. And it worked. Mikey says, EBS will never admit he's wrong. LOL. Hilarious. I think he did actually the old day about something. What was it? Well, he was wrong about, Air July and about Iceland being good. It's not good. It sucks and so on. But, there's the desire to be right at all costs sometimes. But, hey, man, I've been wrong about stuff. I've been wrong about certain people here and there. It is what it is. It's not great, but admit it. Egon Dragcock said, I can't support anything created by Joss Whedon. I've been saying he's a piece of shit since the early 2000s. Yeah, he's such an asshole, man. He really is. I liked the Avengers movie, that first one. I liked Astonishing X-Men, aspects of it, parts of it, a lot. Bringing back Colossus was good. The dialogue was good, and also it wasn't overwritten, which is very rare for a writer from TV and movies to do. Kevin Smith overwrites like a whore when it comes to Daredevil. It was terrible. Joss Whedon at least understood this is comic books. Get out of the way. Let the art sometimes tell the story while I pull back. But I hear you. He's a piece of shit asshole, cheating on his wife left and right like a whore. Also, it tells you something about the character or lack thereof of who he is. Randall McCollum. Hey, Randall. Best Miss Marvel was the black suit. I remember like the black bodysuit, as in the one on her trunk, you mean? It was cool, that one, if I remember correctly. Egon Dreadcock says PTP's Zoroastrian is the worst Zorro. My God. I would have been entertained more by lighting the money I spent on it on fire instead of buying it. My God. Hey, Flutterbat. Yeah, Kevin Smith is fucking disgusting. Yes, he is. Lizzo. Thanks, man. So for Julius Caesar. All right, guys. I just wanted to pitch Pigman today. It's called Pigman vs. SuperJihad. This live stream. Check it out, guys. I would really appreciate your support. I really would. Consider getting Pigman. I'm going to close it out pretty soon. I have 282 backers, $18,301. Hey, Daniel. I know. Hey, Bosch. I'm so sick of Pedro Pascal. He is killing the Fast Four. He is the albatross of that movie. He's the fucking thing that doesn't belong. He's like that piece of shit that's in a room. It's like, that's a piece of shit. What's it doing here? It doesn't belong here. And he's a piece of shit. I mean, he's a communist. And he has to go out of his way also. Because the less talent you have, the more loud you have to be about your aggressive leftism to tell Hollywood, hire me? And they do. And he has that frog voice also. It's like, that doesn't work for Reed Richards. Zachary Levi would have been a great Reed Richards. Tall, lean, good actor, good face. He would have been great as Reed Richards. But Marvel's stupid, so they didn't offer to him. He would have been perfect. It's such a hurdle for them. They can't help themselves, these rats. In their mind, like, fuck, we got 4 white characters. Let's bring a slightly not white actor, maybe something. Terrible. It's terrible. So yeah, guys, back Pigman. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. I got 5 different covers. You got a 9-page preview. Takes on Islam, jihad, on all fronts, culturally, politically, ideologically. It's serious. It's fun. It's violent. It's exciting. It's, I think, good action and good battles of ideological battles that I really enjoy writing and going through. So I appreciate your support, guys. If you haven't gotten it, please consider getting it. I would really appreciate it. You guys take care, man. You guys be well. Thanks, Mikey. Appreciate it. Back Pigman, guys. Let's fucking go. Absolutely. By the way, Shanth Angetti made that banner right there. And he also made this trailer, which I'm going to show right now, guys. Let me get me out of the way. I'm going to play it. Give me 1 second. I mean, it was a very generous thing that Shanth did. Very, very generous. Appreciate the hell out of it. So thanks, guys. Power Master Jazz, go Pigman. Appreciate it, man. Flutterbat, excellent stream as always, Bosch. Good night, all y'all. Thanks, Flutterbat. Appreciate it. Get Pigman. Back it. I'll be closing it. Thanks, Power Master Jazz. That's my boy, Pigman. This has been a signature image of him. It's one of the covers also. Pigman in war paint, jihadist blood. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You guys take care. Be well. Have a great weekend, guys. Until next time. Thank you. Sir Boomer. Some new people here tonight. Very, very, very cool. It looks like the numbers blew up a little too, which is always appreciated. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Be well. Thank you. Back Pigman at Fund My Comic. Please. Thank you. Take care, Mike TV Dub. Be well.